Top of the morning, top of the morning. Welcome back to the channel. Hope we're all having a fantastic day today. I know I am. Summer's definitely in full swing here in Palm Springs. Today, I want to go over a little updated Padrón section since I have moved these guys quite a bit. It's been throwing people off because they think that I shrunk our Padrón section. I did not. One of the biggest changes was I needed to just consolidate some things to make more room because honestly I was taking up way too much shelf space with Padrón products. If you know me, you know I love Padróns. I have an entire humidor just dedicated to my Padróns, but I did have them taking up too much valuable shelf space in my shop. So I'm going to kind of go over what I did, all the changes, a couple new additions, that sort of thing, right? The last Padrón upload I did was actually a few months ago, and the quality of the video really wasn't that great, and I missed a few things, and I just thought I could do a lot better, so wanted to just kind of make a updated Padrón video here. So, same thing, I do follow the same format as my other sections. We will always do the filler boxes on the bottom, and then you're going to have some of the 2000s right here, Damasos to the 26s. These are all the 64s. And then I've got some of the family reserves and more limited releases up top. So pretty easy to kind of follow. I think the biggest thing that's kind of throwing people off is, of course, you know, I originally had all my Padróns where all my JC Newman products were. And I had my natural and Maduros side by side. And it took probably, you know, 10 to 12 feet of space. It was ridiculous. So, you know, which I love, right? There was something really cool about looking at that wall and seeing a whole bunch of just beautiful Padróns, full boxes, right? I loved the presentation and I loved how this wall looked. It just really was unfortunate because if someone came in and they're like, yeah, you know, I'm not that big of a fan of Padrón. Well, that just took out like 200 square feet worth of, you know, product that they would even have any interest in. So with there being a whole bunch of really good products nowadays, and you kind of need to give each one its own, you know, self-respecting little bit of space, I just had to kind of make some changes there a little bit. And so believe it or not, I actually did not do away with a single thing. The biggest difference is I leave the naturals up top because for us in our Padróns, I'm sure it's different with other shops, but naturals are our most popular. So I put the natural box up top and then the Maduro one is underneath. So I still have a natural and a Maduro, but instead of them being side by side, in order to save shelf space, I just stack them on top of one another. I do acknowledge that that is not the most convenient thing in the world, especially if you're wanting the Maduro, but I'm just kind of playing around with it for right now. We're going to kind of see how it goes. If it really starts irritating people, then I'll kind of just cross that bridge when that time comes. But for now, I'm kind of liking this. You know, no one has really said anything so far. And again, you know, it's like, for us, it's like a 10-to-1 for how many naturals to the Maduros that we sell of the Padróns. Doesn't matter what the facing is. It is about a 10-to-1, which is pretty crazy. But let's start with our 2000s down here on the bottom. This one's extremely popular. Got those guys at $12.90 still. Haven't changed that too much, but the naturals up top, Maduros underneath. We do still have the 3000s, natural and the Maduro. Now the 4000s. Part of me kind of wants to, I don't want to say phase out the 4000s, but these are our least popular out of all of they're our least popular out of all of our original blends. Kind of thought about, you know, doing the 6000 because that's at least a torpedo. So I'm kind of on the fence about that. But if I ever see something that's just kind of lacking in popularity, I'm always looking to see what I can do to kind of change that. So yeah, and then we have the 7000s, natural and Maduro. The one thing that's out of place here is this hefty guy right here. This is the number 4, and it is a 1964. Beautiful smoke. And this one is the Maduro. This is the only cigar where I just have the Maduro facing and not the natural. This one in particular, this is like basically a 6x60. I don't know the exact size, but it's pretty much a 6x60, maybe a little bit longer. But this guy's extremely popular, and the only people that have ever requested it, they only want the Maduro. So that's all I kind of carry for right now is the Maduro. But definitely a heavy smoke, good after dinner smoke. I've smoked a lot of those. Pretty tasty. Okay, so yeah, that's the one outlier that's kind of out of place. I don't like him there. I will make some, move some stuff around to where I can properly place him with the rest of the 64s. But to be honest, I am also trying to keep things kind of clean and squared off. It's a little tricky. It is a little tricky, but I'm trying some things out here. The biggest thing with me kind of reorganizing everything, in case you missed it in the last videos, I just have to have things organized and alphabetical. I've tried doing like featured walls and stuff, which look absolutely incredible. You definitely get that wow factor. They're a real crowd pleaser, right? But it's just, there's something about the fact that it's not alphabetical, and it just makes things so confusing for those that come in, And I had everything over here, like, our giant Fuente section, the My Fathers, and then Padrón. Those three companies made up this entire wall. So if you didn't like those three companies, like half my humidor won't really do you any good. So I just kind of had to go back to making things a standard alphabetical kind of format. And this is where the Padróns ended up, was kind of on this little sidewall here with like where our windows are. So I don't have as many shelves. So that kind of also made things a little bit more difficult. But at least they are still, you kind of walk right in. They are still a little bit easier to find. So I kind of do like that. But yeah, we'll go up to the second level right here, which is my favorite Connecticut in the entire shop, right next to the Diamond Crown Natural. And that is the Padrón Damaso. I do have it in a Robusto, Toro, and Churchill format. Me, myself, when it comes to the lighter Connecticut smokes, I usually smoke those in the earlier hours of the day. So for me, the smaller option is the way to go. Smoke a lot of the Robustos. Absolutely delicious smoke. Same quality you come to expect from Padrón. And I believe this is the only, I believe it's the only option they do that is not just the standard natural or Maduro. This is their Ecuador Connecticut, not a shade grown. They do not do any shade grown. But it's a delicious smoke. I love that guy a lot. Little guys, the number 35. These dudes are tiny, but man, they are great. Definitely a nice little snack. Of course, I have the natural and the Maduro. These 35s are awesome. Sometimes, I really don't want like a crazy big smoke. I'm not going to let anyone tell me otherwise. Sometimes I just don't want to smoke for 2 hours. Sometimes a 20-minute smoke is appropriate. But yeah, some of the 35s, those guys are awesome. Slightly bigger with the number 6. Just the natural. And then the number 9, just the natural. And I've said it before, I will happily say it again. I have smoked thousands of cigars, a whole bunch of different companies. Padrón is still the most consistent. Yes. Hey, if you think another company's more consistent than Padrón, please do me a huge favor and drop a comment below, and please tell me what company that is, because I have not found them. These are the best drawing cigars and the most consistent cigars in the industry. And I will put these up against just about any other company. That's just how I feel. I love the Padróns. If I'm ever trying to smoke a cigar and not like hassle with anything, or play a guessing game, or think, oh, there's a chance that this is plugged or it's going to have an issue with construction, no, Padrón, that is never ever the case. But yeah, so we got the 2000s we went over, Damasos, the 26s. I do want to expand that line a little bit. Not too sure what to add just yet, but I have a few ideas. And then our 64s, the Hermosos. So a bigger gauge, but shorter length. These actually have a pretty decent burn time on them. They're not that crazy. I'd say, for me, I can get a good half hour out of these guys, no problem. And yeah, naturals up top, Maduros underneath. You've got the Principes, extremely popular. It's basically like the same size as the number 35, just a tiny bit longer. And then our most popular 1964, which is this guy. I can't hardly keep these in stock, to be honest with you. The Exclusivos. Natural or Maduro does not matter. I have such a hard time keeping these guys in stock. I have many box buyers for these. You know, it's that happy balance of a great size, very consistent, delicious, pairs well with a lot of spirits. I mean, this is like, I don't know, this is getting pretty close to like a desert island cigar for me. But yeah, the Natural, the Maduro. I got to figure out something to do with these brackets because I've got like this. That's irritating me a lot, so I got to figure something out there. But I do have the Imperials, the Naturals, which is basically a Toro, and their Maduros underneath. Absolutely have to have the Torpedoes. I just don't think you can have a proper Padrón selection without the Torpedoes. Just exquisite. Like one of the most OG Torpedoes. To me, it's like the Monte Cristo number 2 and then the Padrón Torpedo. Those are just always what I think about. And then these guys, probably, in my opinion, one of the most elegant cigars in the entire shop, the Diplomatico, which happens to be a 1964. Look at this. I mean, look at that. That is an absolutely gorgeous cigar. Amazing. I mean, come on, that is just stunning. Of course, I'm probably gonna have to take this guy out. That looks like a cracked foot right there. Man, I don't have to smoke this guy. What a daunting task. So, fill that guy back in a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so a lot of the 64s, that's our most popular. I think most people are familiar with the 64s and then the 26s. And then our top shelf, these are gonna be more of your reserves. So the 1926, this is the 40 year, which is a Torpedo. Delicious blend, lots of age on this cigar. Immaculate Torpedo, box pressed, gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Our most popular family reserves, which are the 45 year, we keep these guys pretty stocked up, Natural and Maduro. That little hammer, so iconic. And there's honestly, you know, I love when I crack open a box of cigars. I always take a smell. I kind of just can't help myself. And these Padrones always just smell the absolute best. So the 50 year, this was our first time carrying them. I completely sold out of all the Maduros way before the Naturals. So I have more coming, but I was not expecting that. I did try a couple, and me, myself, I did prefer the Maduro, but I just didn't think it was going to have a difference like that, where everyone was just destroying the Maduros and just kind of whatever about the Naturals. Very different. Now these guys, I did make a video specifically on these, because this is my favorite Padrón, the 1926 80 year Natural. My God, absolutely, my opinion, perfect cigar. There is nothing wrong with that cigar at all. I have about 8 boxes. 6 of them are aging. 2 of them I'm ripping through. I just love that stick. There's nothing wrong with that stick. This was probably one of the very first cigars I smoked that was like a really high-end cigar. To me, it was, you know. I started out smoking good cigars, but this really raised the bar for me. Opened my eyes to a whole other just world of nuanced flavors, and just really started, you know, intriguing, like piquing my interest in cigars. The 80 year Padrón. Always a soft spot for that one. That is an ultimate smoke. If you've never smoked one of those, come on. You gotta hunt one down. I'll send one to you. Whatever we gotta do, but you gotta try one of these. The Maduro's good. I like the Maduro. Nothing wrong with the Maduro. Something about that Natural though, my gosh. Padrón 85s. Again, one of the newer additions. It is a, I wanted to have every family reserve that I possibly could. That was a huge thing. And the natural and the Maduro. This was our, I think, yeah, this is our first time. I'm on my last set of boxes on these. So far, great feedback. Again, people seem for the family reserves for these, they really do like the Maduros. I have actually a couple boxes left of these, and this is my last guy right here. I do like them both. I do like them both, but I could see you really liking the spice and pepper with the Maduro 85, because it's got a lot of spice and pepper. I mean, of course, the accolades, they always speak for themselves. I mean, the reserves, the family reserves from Padrón, they really need no introduction. Like, if you've been in the industry long enough, you know these cigars. And then topping us off, the official Jose Padrón number 90 tubes. These are the naturals. Only tube from Padrón that we have. But man, it's a good one. All right, guys. So yeah, that's a little bit of an update on our Padrón section. My opinion, still a fantastic variety. Great selection of Padróns. Still some of my all-time favorite cigars. I know what I'm getting every time I light one of these up. If you've been on the fence about trying Padrón, you have to give it a go. Try a few different ones, see if they're for you. Yes, I know there's a lot of Nicaraguan products on the market these days, but man, these are still some of the best. So yeah, guys, appreciate you watching. Definitely hope your day is going well for you so far. Hope this was insightful in some way for you. Any questions, always feel free to leave a comment down below. The store is Tinderbox Palm Springs. We are open 7 days a week. Kind of working on our website right now, but that is going to be done here very shortly. Looking forward to servicing all your needs. But yeah, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. And if we see you, make sure to say hey and try one of these Padróns. Especially that guy.